Staying in it, last minute, come on.
I use a lot of Edison quotes because I feel like I can really relate to Edison. Edison was a creator, an inventor, an entrepreneur, and that's something that at the heart is who I am as an individual. And I love that about bass fishing, that it is always your choices, your decisions. You have to live or die by what you decide to do, and it's no one else's fault but your own, and it's no one else's success but your own too sometimes. And growing up, I was always that kid. I was always the kid who wasn't participating in team sports. Now that doesn't mean I'm not a team player. I absolutely love participating in teams and being a part of a team. But you know what? When it comes to being competitive and my competitive nature as an individual, that's exactly what it is. I'm an individual, which is why I've always been attracted to those types of sports: bass fishing, golf, tennis, martial arts. You know, these are all things that I did when I was younger growing up, because I like that type of competition, the one-on-one, me against you, me against the rest of the field. You know, that's what really drives me in bass fishing. In practice, we actually ran some new spots. I took my co-angler, which I don't normally take a co-angler, but I highly recommend that if you can take a co-angler, take one, especially one that's as skilled as the one that I took with me, because we get to my first spot and he cranks out a limit on a tried and true presentation, white chatterbait on the Potomac. He cranks out one really fast. We identify that it's a possible shad spawn because the fish that we're catching are actually spitting up shad.
Get that on camera. My co-angler's kicking my ass in the back right now. Just out here pre-fishing.
And so, you know, that helped me narrow down presentations. I actually started off with a buzzbait because I wanted to see if a topwater bite existed. Part of my pre-fishing routine is really just to try to eliminate presentations, eliminate water, eliminate things so that I feel comfortable that when I get to a spot like I did the next day, that I was going to catch fish.
I thought he was gonna get off. Get him here, son. Back, guy.
You know, tournament day, I had my plan. I knew where I was exactly going to start. We had run a lot of the spots that I wanted to run and had caught fish. And so I knew I had a good plan. I had a plan. But you know what? The decisions that I made, the choices that I made, I had to live or die by those. And unfortunately, in hindsight, I started off in the wrong place.
Alrighty, good morning, y'all. We are about to start the ABA event. This is my second event of the 2018 season. So looking forward to getting out there. Got kind of an overcast sky potential. A lot of clouds right now. Probably going to be up in the 80s today. Might get some rain. Not sure. We'll see. But rain should start. We got an outgoing tide. Gonna start on some spots that I practiced yesterday. Got some good fish. Actually, my co-angler got some good fish while I tried out presentations that didn't work. But you know, that's a good thing, at least fishing with a co-angler for pre-fishing. You know, you can't always go at it alone. So pre-fishing with someone, you know, while he's throwing, you know, say like a chatterbait or something, I was able to throw topwater, and we're able to, you know, kind of ascertain a pattern early in the morning. So we will see. Might be a little bit of a shad spawn going on. It's kind of what we saw yesterday. It might be too late for that. Don't know. They were very shallow up feeding before the tide went out. So gonna hit that spot first off. I mean, banged out pretty good limit right there right off the bat, and left it alone after that because I was like, well, these are my fish. I need to leave them alone. What else we got? Just a beautiful morning. Gonna rock some red, white, and blue today. Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, we're in Maine. I always forget which ones are which. But anyway, thanks for coming along, and thanks for tuning into this year's Don't Back Up, Don't Back Down series.
I didn't track what the wind was doing, and the wind that night had actually pushed a lot of the debris that was floating because we had torrential rains over the past 2 weeks, and there was so much debris floating in the water, trees as big as Volkswagens, just humongous pieces of debris, and that had actually pushed up against the shoreline that I was intending to fish. And so that pretty much blew out my entire plan for the morning to get on a quick limit in that location.
Woo! There is something that just pumps you up about fishing, about tournament fishing. I don't know what it is, but I'm pumped, guys. Just a young gun with the quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things. Wanna leave my old life behind. Not a yes sir, not a follow up. The mode have a seat for you. Take a number. I was like it before the thunder. Crappie. The catches. Thunder. Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the mass. Who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a big star. Say you're basic, say you're easy. You always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clapping in the nosebleed. Well, the weatherman got this part wrong. It's bluebird skies right now, nice and hot. I've got one fish. All my spots this morning completely blown out, which means I probably ran when I shouldn't have. So, oh well. So I put a jig hook set on a fish. Unfortunately, my leader broke, which I've been apparently doing a very bad job at tying leaders because that's not normal. It seems to be a new trend for me. Gotta find something that's gonna work. Right now we're in slack tide, so pretty much nothing's gonna work. I don't know, you know, high tide will start coming in, fish until 3. That's good, got plenty of time there. You know, definitely not gonna give up at all, not ever. Don't back up, don't back down. You know, right now, just one measly little fish in the box. I think I'm gonna go camp a point for a little while and just fish it incredibly slow. Let's get after it.
You know, I had to adjust, and so I made some decisions to run the things that I already knew, to go back to places where I felt confident I could catch fish. And you know, I ended up catching fish. Another good decision that I made during the day that I feel in hindsight was that I decided to slowly hit one spot and truly just stay there on that spot. The bad decision was that I didn't do that earlier enough in the day and ended up having to deal with a lot of leisure boaters coming in, a lot of wave runners, wakeboarders, and those people came in and pretty much turned my area off shortly after I started catching fish. But hey, these are your decisions. These are my decisions. You're getting to view these as they happen, as I make these decisions, as I grow as an angler. And you know, hopefully one of these days I can pull out a W from one of these. It might not be anytime soon. It might take a while. It could be tomorrow. I've got a tournament tomorrow. And you can't win it if you're not in it.
Staying in it. Staying in it. Last minute. Come on.
So yeah, so you're gonna have to live or die by some of the decisions that you make both on the water and off the water. You know, bass fishing can relate so much to life. And you know, one of my favorite quotes too is, it's at the end of a man's life when he realizes how important his decisions were at the beginning. And that also translates to bass fishing, because it's at the end of the tournament that you realize how important your decisions at the beginning were.
Basically ran all over the place, ended up catching fish on the same place and same point, same technique. Kind of caught fish all over. Golly, I caught a catfish on everything. You know, my areas got blown out. You know, I learned something today, you know, and that'll play in for future tournaments when I do those. And just didn't have any confidence in that area at all after it, you know, I got there and it's just dirty as all get out. You know, so did make some good decisions though. You know, it was kind of one of those like, go back to where I caught fish. And you know, that's a spot that's probably been hammered 10 times, 20 times a day, and I still got there and I still caught fish. You know, so my techniques are really on point with that, with what I'm throwing. You know, I was throwing a little MOJO rig, I was finessing it, still caught a 5-pounder on that, still caught a second keeper, so I caught 3 altogether on that spot. Actually caught even more, but you know, they were small. So you know, still just trying to piece together every little part. I need to get on a good morning bite. If I get on a good morning bite and can get you know, kind of like we did the other day when we got to that first spot, bam, we hammered out 5 right away, and I was like, you know what, that's what I need a good start. Anyway guys, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for, you know, watching another part of this episode of Don't Back Up, Don't Back Down. Gonna keep at it, gonna keep grinding. And you know, one of these days I'm getting closer, catching bigger fish, learning, you know, better techniques instead of just running all over the place. You know, I feel if I would have just camped that spot all day long, I probably would have caught a limit. And you know, so maybe that's what we do next time. But as always, don't back up, don't back down. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.